Hello? 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 Sorry, did I spook you by talking? Let's just get into it straight away, to be fair. People have some issues, mostly to do with the backstage stuff. That's fine. Hillbilly Jim, you don't have to be a manager. We've got primetime wrestling right off the bat. No one gets the night off. Where were we last time? What day is it? 8th of June. I was at the 7th of June. Today's Monday. So we should be in the Mid-Atlantic. You have not whined this full time. Don't be whining now. Don't be whining now that I've started. Skinner ran some drills. The Sagman had a bit of a clash. Nobbs was brought before wrestling court. Mustafa was. DiBiase and Brawler had to be separated. That's the end of it. Should we do an open forum, see how that works? The Ultimate Warrior got a small boost, so did Duggan, Hawk, Snooker, Liz and Blessing. Does the backstage kind of take a bit of a knock because of the open forum? Yeah, the open forum, very poor. Nice. Oh well. Let's get going. We are on Primetime Wrestling. Vince McMahon presides over the evening's panel, featuring Duggan, Jim, Heenan, and Perfect. I think this might be a set of new tapings, so there should be a bit of energy going into these primetime wrestling shows. Nice. Nice little primetime wrestling opening. It can be improvised. Right off the bat, High Energy beats Skinner and Brawler when Owen pins Brawler with a splash in 7:58. Let's put our High Energy together. Going against Heel, Males, Brawler, and Haku. Little 6-minute. Let's stick. Who's further up the card, to be fair? They're both. There's Marty. Owen. Oh, there he is. Oh. Well, then Owen can do with the win. Nice. Let's see. Anything? No kind of. What's it called? I don't know what I'm saying. No kind of mid-match promo. Michael squashes Sean. Lord Alfred Hayes' special report recaps his nails beatdown of the Big Boss Man. So let's have Lord Alfred Hayes, I guess, on character development with Nails and the Big Boo Man. 3 minutes should do. Heenan says that Nails was innocent and Boss Man is solely responsible for turning him into a vicious man. We can stick that in. Try and do something with this angle. Ooh. Heenan is responsible. I guess we can have Bobby Heenan and Vince talking about Nails and Bossman off screen. 2 minutes should do. Then have Jim Powers beat Barry Horowitz after a power slam in 5:55. Which is Jim Powers' second win of the year. Instead, let's have Kenny Kendall, still quite low on the card. Let's have a 2v2. Let's have Face. Kendall, I've got to see what this cat is whining at. Are you okay? Straight up just being a terror, that's all it is. Alright, so Kenny Kendall and Face. Let's do Kendall and Bulldog against Heels, Wits and Skinner. That's fine with me. 6 minutes should do. Let's stick Kendall over. And we can move that down a little bit. Ric Flair's squash is shown. The panel talks about the Flair Savage feud. Especially since Liz and Flair have just split up. So Vince, character development is fine. Let's have Bobby, Gorilla, and Mr. Perfect talking about Ric Flair and Randy. 4 minutes is fine. Legion of Doom squash is shown. Repo Man squash is shown. Then the Nasty Boys beat El Matador and Virgil. It's quite a big win on a primetime wrestling show. So the Nasty Boys take on Faces. Let's have them take on Virgil, and Scott Colton can do. 7 minutes is fine, with knobs going over. That can go here. Gene Oakland's interview with Papa Shango from Superstars is shown. So let's just have Gene as the interviewer. Turn this down a bit. Papa Shango cutting a promo on Sid and the Ultimate Warrior. 4 minutes. Crushes squash from Wrestling Challenge is shown. And then Bulldog beats IRS with a running power slam. Let's do that, to be fair. Whereas we can have the British against IRS. Stick the Bulldog over. And we'll change Kenny Kendall's partner to face, men's to Tanker. Why not? Nice. And then a Bushwhacker squash is shown. The WWF is in a weird place right now, as Jim Powers and the Brooklyn Brawler have each won matches in the last month. This show was a step back toward the prime time of the last few years, as there were 2 unique feature matches that had some intrigue. Unfortunately, the panelists don't have much substance to talk about, and that weighs down the programme. Nice. Let's have a 1v1 in the main event. We can have Sean take on face Volkov. Nice 10-minute. If we could do a 2v2 of, do you have any heel stars? Let's have Martel and I don't know. Martel and Flair, why not? Take on faces. Coco and Duggan. Another 10-minute, let's stick Martel over. So we can have a SummerSlam advert. Just the usual stuff to kind of fill the gaps. 4 minutes should do. Stick all the big stars in. Just make it a hype pre-taped video. It's fine, improvised. That should be fine, to be honest. We can end it like this. Add 2 minutes to this match. Nice. 75%, so would not be penalised. Book and analysis doesn't say anything. So let's run Primetime Wrestling. Simmering, 75, solid. High Energy defeat Brooklyn Brawler and Haku when Owen pinned Haku with a missile dropkick. Lord Alfred Hayes' special report recaps Nails' beatdown of Bossman. Oh, Wits and Skinner have excellent chemistry teaming. It's a shame Kenny Kendall and Tatanka defeated Wits and Skinner when Kendall pinned the Wits. Heenan says that Nails was innocent and the Bossman is solely responsible for turning him into a vicious man. The Nasties defeated Colton and Virgil when Nobbs pinned Virgil with a trip to Nastyville. The panel tries to talk about the Savage Flair feud. Bulldog defeated IRS in 10:46 with a power slam. And Gene Oakland's interview with Shango from Superstars is shown. Decent match, Martel and Flair defeated Coco and Duggan when Martel submitted Duggan with a Boston Crab. We got a SummerSlam advert, and finally, Michaels defeated Volkov with a Sweet Chin Music. Very solid primetime wrestling. Shame we lost $1,000, but we can work on that. Overall, solid. Nice. What else have we got? New Japan Chief Enforcer. Shibata Dad to stay with New Japan. Not Jackie Goldman divorces. He has a great look, to be fair. Peter News is gone. I forgot we were hiring Sean Royal. Should we hire them as heels or faces? Heels would probably do. What do we have? Power Hour and Saturday night's main event in 4 days. It's not Saturday night, which event? Just do Saturday night. What is it? June 13, 1982. And what's going on with the WWF? Monsoon thinks Nails get it, and so does Ray Stevens, so they must know something I don't. Piper, you can stay, main roster. Sean Collins, face, main roster. I forgot who you were to replace, Sean, but we've got you. We've got you. I think we have Superstars on 13th of June 1992. We do. Both should be very solid. What was going on NWA Power Hour on the 28th of September 90? Pillman took on Basher. Buddy Landell defeated Alan Iron Eagle. The Blade Hunter defeated Dave Diamond. There was Bobby Eaton against Tracy Smothers. Solid all round. Not too much really going on. Tony Sinclair, you can stay. Fatu wants to be brought up. Pez Watley. He currently works for NAWA and is the current booker for the North American Wrestling Alliance. Is he booking himself to win? Oh, that's the real problem. What was happening on Monday Night Raw? Bailey against Lyra Valkyrie. LWO against El Grande Americano and the Creed brothers. New Day against the War Raiders. Penta against Dominic Mysterio. Yeah, fair. DQ and Ivar used a chair. I have nothing bad to say about the Viking Raiders. I just don't care about the Viking Raiders. New Japan have made Steamboat a touring contract. Have they? No, they have not. I don't think they can. I think that, like, because of our relationship with them, they can't. So that kind of saves us on that front. Let's add the team. Let's just advance to the next show. I probably should have finished off that last TV show than the last one. And we wouldn't have to do all this waiting, but it's still good. It's still good. Oof. Hope everyone's having a good day. Hope everyone's enjoying themselves. The YouTube channel itself seems to be doing fine. We're doing alright. In the past year, we've had 6.6 thousand views since starting this. 492 hours of watch time and 37 subscribers. So things are going alright, you know. Things could be going a whole lot worse. Not retribution change. Dusty, you can stay on the main roster. We're now paying a whole lot for you. But I suppose... Oh yeah, I've also changed the thumbnails for... Oh! Hold up, let me pause this. Just for my own absolute enjoyment. But I'll kind of have to see what comes off. Because I'm fine with it. One of the this video I was just playing, I was about to just talk about the how it's got a new thumbnail, but I just realised one of the more recent new generation videos has got a copyright claim against it. Oh, Sven Hansen becomes a CEO of VDB. Yeah, one of the newest TEW videos has a copyright claim against it for a song that even I can't hear. Oh, the WBF has folded. Failure is likely to worsen the rumoured financial problems at the WWF. Fair. It isn't great. It isn't great. Booking position of VDB is available because they're a change in ownership. I think we're good. Terry Gordy is relocated. So we have Power Hour. And the WWF, not much going on. Oh, Timu! I'm sorry. It was a pleasure to have you in here, though. Thank you very much. I appreciate the good luck. I always need it. As always, man, it's a pleasure to have you here. And I hope you're doing well. So I just want to check the narratives. 1992 WBF fails. What does that do for us? So we have a little bit of a... We do only, yeah, man. Shit's tough. Things aren't going great, but... We all need the luck that we can have. So I appreciate that, brother. So that puts us into a little bit of financial turmoil. Oh, have I lost like 1 million? Yeah, 1.9 million I've lost because of WBF. That's fine. Financially, we're fine. We live, we laugh, we love. No one gets the night off. Where are we? So there, Saturday the 13th of June. That was the 7th of June. It's maybe we're in the southwest. Locker room incidents. And Anderson ran some drills. Jodie Hamilton was fun to be around. The Rock and Roll Express had an over-the-top duet. Sully and Dick had an argument. Dusty was passing on tips to Dustin. It's Power Hour. It's a little Autobook show. Not crazy, not silly. Let's just remove some of these. Oh. Ache from work. So WCW Power Hour opening. Hi, pre-taped video, 3 minutes should do. Still got the usual people as stars. Nice. Instead of Chono against Pat Rose, what is Pat Rose? He's a heel. Let's have face. Not Ricky Santana. Samurai Warrior against heel Vader. Simple, simple, simple. Vader over. Video featuring Terry Gordy and Steve Williams. Perfecto. We had Lionheart against Ricky Morton, that's fine. I'm happy to stick Lionheart over. Interview with Pillman on Johnny B. Bad. And the... yes, Johnny B. Bad. Johnny B. Bad off screen. Brad Armstrong against Rip Rogers. Instead... let's have face. Dean Malenko against Rip Rogers. Stick Dino over. Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like I've done something like this match. Video featuring the Dangerous Alliance. So instead, heel, major, subjective video. Perfect. And then we have Mr. Hughes against Dory. Let's just put Dory over. And finally, interview with Nikita on Vader and Sting. Sting off screen, Big Van off screen. Let's run this shit. WCW Power Hour opening. Vader defeated the Samurai Warrior in 641 with a Vader bomb, though the two did not click and it made for an awkward bout. Video featuring Gordy and Steve Williams. Lionheart defeated Ricky Morton in 540 with a Lion Tamer. We got an interview with Pillman on Johnny B. Bad. Did great. Dean Malenko defeated Rip Rogers in 434 by submission. We had a video featuring the Dangerous Alliance. Funk defeated Hughes in 7 minutes with a Texas Cloverleaf. And we got an interview with Nikita on Vader and Sting. So what's going on in the world of Saturday night? We don't need a locker room meeting. Bart Vale and Chip are now travel buddies. Nice. I like when it's just something simple. What's going on Saturday night? So, typical kind of format. Let's go through the matches first and the angles. This week is only an hour long, so the usual 2-hour format. So, Dustin defeated Tracy Smothers. That's a match I'm happy doing. 10 minutes should be fine for me. Ron Simmons defeated Chris Sullivan. Where is he? Ron Simmons can beat heel, male, Abdullah. Make it about 6 minutes. Stick Simmons over. Super Invader defeated Johnny Rich. So instead, let's do a 1-on-2 of our Super Invader is Scott Norton taking on face, male. He can take on Billy Robinson and Johnny Saint. 8 minutes should be fine. Sting defeated DDP in a non-title match. Sting take on heel, male. Up with DDP. Put the Stinger Man over. And finally, the Steiners defeated Al and Steve in a non-title match. Steiner brothers taking on heels and Steve Austin. And stick Scott over. Make it storytelling. Next. Bill Watts says that WCW Bill Watts says the WCW is going to go in a different direction, but they are going to enforce the rules. Watts has contracted someone to make sure the action stays in the ring. He called Ole Anderson to become the senior. Did we get rid of Ole? To be the senior referee for the company. Ole comes out wearing a ref shirt and says that Watts helped him realise that something had to be done. Ole and Watts are determined for there to be wrestling going on in WCW. There will be no more padding around the ringside because WCW has real men. I can stick that in. So WCW Saturday night opening. Perfect. Make it height, pre-taped video. Instead of Ole Anderson or Bill Watts, since we don't have him. Gordon Soley. You're not retiring, are you? No. Copy. Bloody hell. The cat's found her jingly ball. Gordon Soley says that WCW is going to go in a different direction, but they're going to enforce the rules. Soley has contracted someone to make sure the action stay inside the ring. He's called Ole Anderson to become senior referee of the company. Ole comes out wearing a ref shirt and says that Soley helped him realise that something has to be done. Ole and Soley are determined for there to be wrestling going on in WCW. There'll be no more padding around the ring because WCW has real men. Yeah, it's fine. I can just keep that bit. Boop. I've Gordon Soley and Foley. I guess they can be cutting promos on, I guess, non-speaking role on some of the biggest wrestlers. Nice. Just 2 minute, nothing serious. Oh, someone hungry now that she's been kicking a ball about. Cactus Jack is interviewed by Jim Ross, and he has a wooden crate with him. Jack will be wrestling WCW champion Sting at Bash at the Beach in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Jack says that the crates are Sting's ribs, and knows they don't feel well. Jack drops headfirst on the crate and stumbles backwards. That's fine. You can just stick Cactus Jack's interview by Jim Ross. So I guess just 3 minute Jim Ross, interviewer, Cactus, cutting a promo on Sting. Nice. That here should be fine. Rick Rude shares some pre-taped comments regarding Ricky Steamboat and the Ironman match at Beach Blast. Rude asks if he looks nervous, because he's not nervous at all. Rude says that 30 minutes is going to be a lifetime for Steamboat. Rude says that Steamboat cares about his family so much, he wonders who will support them, and Steamboat is con. We don't need the pre-tape. So that's Steamboat and just put Ricky. And gone. Perfect. So Rick Rude cutting a promo on Ricky Steamboat. And we can have Eric Bischoff as the interviewer just to kind of get him on the show a bit. And then we move on to our main event. Rick gets the hot tag and power slams Austin, followed by a clothesline. But Austin blocks an elbow drop by getting his knees up. Austin and Rick trade blows, with Rick getting the better of the exchange. Scott gets the tag, but the ref doesn't see. Anderson tags in, but the ref doesn't see that either. Rick's sunset flips from the apron into the ring and pins Austin as Scott keeps Anderson away from the canvas. Nice. We can just have a WCW Beach Blast ad. How long do we need? 9 minutes. We can just extend some matches. And we can put that here. So how long? 5 more. Stick 2 minutes to everything else. Nice. Oh, our match angles is too high. 3 minutes. And so would not be penalised. Perfect. What does booking analysis say? All is good. Anyone got any creative ideas? Dustin has a creative finish and it's a near certainty, so we can have that open. Creative finish, Dustin Rhodes, perfect. Vinny Vegas has one for an angle. We'll keep it. If it expires, it expires. Let's run the show. So we've got the WCW Saturday Night opening, in about which had good heat and decent wrestling with a successful creative finish. Dustin defeated Tracy Smothers in 11:38 by pinfall with a running bulldog. Gordon Soley says that WCW is going to a different direction, but they are going to enforce the rules. He's called Ole Anderson to become senior referee for the company. Ole and Soley are determined for there to be wrestling going on in WCW. There'll be no more planning around the ringside because WCW has real men. In a decent match, Simmons defeated Abdullah. The two have great chemistry. In 8:07 with a spine buster. Cactus Jack's interviewed by Jim Ross and he has a wooden crate with him. Jack says that the crate stings ribs and knows they don't feel well. He then proceeds to drop headfirst onto the crate. Scott Norton defeated Billy Robinson and Johnny Saint when Norton pinned Saint with a flash breaker. The crowd did not care for this one. Rick Rude shares some comments regarding Steamboat and the Iron Man match at Beast Blast. Rude says that Steamboat cares about his family so much, so he wonders who will support them with Steamboat gone. Sting defeated DDP in 9:31 by submission with a Scorpion Deathlock. We got a Beach Blast advert, and then finally in the main event, in a bout which had great heat and good wrestling, the Steiners defeated the Dangerous Alliance when Scott pinned Steve with a Steinalizer. 81, that might be the best show we've put on for any company. WCW, man. Life imitates art. And then we have Superstars. Where are we at? The Mid-Atlantic. Team meeting, not much going on. Locker room incidents. Marty and Dylan have to be separated. Davis and Mancini are now travel buddies. Snooki got in a clash with Gurria. Razor almost got in a fight with Steve Collins. Tony and Marty are getting on well. Sean Mooney is being influenced by Heenan. Dynamite Kid was brought before Wrestlers Court. Not a positive impact. Skinner ran some drills. Fine. Superstars. From Lexington, Kentucky. The hosts are Vince McMahon and Mr. Perfect. Do we have Superstars opening? Make it 3 minutes. Add in all the usual guys. Nice. Hype, pre-taped, video. Oh, Brett, you can always be improvised. Then have to Tanker against the Wits. We hear from Martel in an insert promo as he jokes it'll be another feather in his cap after he beats Tatanka. Ha 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 ha. It's Tatanka taking on heel, male, Adnan. 4 minutes, Tatanka goes over. Martel jokes it'll be another feather in his cap after he beats Tatanka. Let's put Rick Martel cutting a promo with Vince as the interviewer and Tatanka character development. Nice. We got the WWF update with Gene Oakland. We get a look at the new Ultimate Warrior t-shirt before Oakland talks about Papa Shango's curse over Warrior and everyone he comes into contact with. I was distracted by my cat and a jingly ball. I guess Gene, Papa, and the Ultimate. If that ball comes in here, I'm taking it right off it. Thank you, little one. We hear from Warrior as he tells Shango the voices of the warriors around him will make the curse weaker. Warrior talks about sacrificing his flesh to walk as a skeleton. Nice. Kinda cool. Warrior tells Shango voices of the warriors will surround him and make the curse weaker. Four minutes will do. Ultimate Warrior, cutting a promo on Papa. Off screen. And once again we got Vince as the interviewer. Nice. Craig Brown, sorry, takes on Michaels with Sherry. And then during the match, Sean does a promo where he makes fun of the way Brett looks. Let's have Sean take on face, men, Scott Colton. Stick the Micanator over. Making fun of Brett's looks as he promises to take away the IC title. Sean cuts a promo making fun of the way Brett looks. Sean just cutting a promo on Brett. Nice. Once again, let's stick Mr. McMahon in. We now get a vignette for Razor Ramon. We see Ramon telling us he comes from the gutter. He has no education, but who needs it, as we see him in a white suit and gold chains. Razor says he is a success, and comes to the WWF and wants the world and everything in it before tossing his toothpick at the camera. This is a really cool vignette, a much better character than what he debuted in 1992. According to Hall, Pat Patterson called him up after seeing him on TV in WCW as the Diamond Stud, to say that Vince loved the new look and wanted to sign him. But at the time, Hall had just signed a one-year deal with WCW. Patterson told Hall to tell WCW he has a new offer when his contract has ended. When Hall got to the WWF, he started to do his Tony Montana impression for Vince, and Vince loved it, and had no clue about the character and thought it was something that Hall made up, and Hall said he did this impression in AWA while driving around with Kurt. The Razor Ramon name came about as Hall picked the Razor name, but Vince wanted him to have a last name that also began with R, similar to Razor Ruddock. Hall went to the bathroom and saw Tito Santana, and asked for a name that began with an R. Tito said Ramon, and then Razor Ramon was presented to Vince as the name, and he thought it was great. Nice. So, vignette for Razor Ramon. See Ramon telling us he comes from no education. Yeah. Got Razor Ramon cutting a promo. Stick Vince as the interviewer, why not? Put it as character development. Natural disasters against the Executioners. The Executioners are Dwayne Gill and Barry Hardy. Which the natural disasters quickly win. So, where are the natural disasters? There they are. They could take on Face, Men, Snooker and Duggan. Probably done this match, haven't I? Oh no, only in like some kind of 4-way. 6 minutes, Earthquake can go over. Then get the Mountie, winning a squash match against Bill Corby. Where's the Mountie? There he is. Against Face, Men, Brian Adams, I guess. Stick the Mountie over. The Mountie kicks Corby around in the Man's music stops. He then makes Cody say that he's a better man than Slaughter. Mountie then tosses the mic but allows Kobe to bail as the Mountie now wants his music to play. We now see Oakland interviewing Savage inside an empty arena. Oakland says the arena will be full soon when Savage defends his title. Oakland asks Savage about Flair accusing Savage of cheating, as Savage says he has bent the rules a few times and can wrestle any style, but promised to walk out of any match as the champion. Savage tells Flair he does not forget anything, and reminds Flair who is the champion. Savage says Flair does not understand reading between the lines, as Savage calls himself bad to the bone and is unapologetic about everything. Oakland wants clarification as to whether or not Savage will do anything in order to retain the title, as Savage confirms. No mention of Liz here, as this promo made it seem like the feud was strictly about the title. Wade Keller at the Pro Wrestling Torch made a strong point about this promo when he said the words used by Savage sounded more related to a broken relationship than a guy wanting his title. There was definitely something about this that did not click, and it felt like Savage was unable to get to the point. Especially since Savage and Liz are just separated. We can stick that in. Savage tells Flair he does not forget anything and reminds Flair who is the champion. Gene is the interviewer, with Randy Savage cutting a promo on Ric Flair. I'm happy keeping Liz around. We just don't need to stick in angles. Kamala beats Dale Wolf. Generic squash. Kamala going over face. Male. Virgil. Stick Kamala over. Just put that here. El Matador beats Mike Samples. God, this is an awful episode of Superstars. Where is he? Tito? There he is. Take on heel Colonel Mustafa. 6 minutes. Tito going over. We then get a phone interview with Bossman. We get a split screen of Nails holding up Bossman's nightstick and various photos of Bossman's injuries. Perfect acts like Bossman's career is over, but Bossman said he will be back. So I guess Vince is the interviewer, Mr. Perfect on character development, and Big Boss Man cutting a promo on Nails. I guess non-speaking rule. It's fine. We then get a Nails match. After the match, Nails grabs the nightstick and beats Ron Cumberledge. Nails then chokes him off and stops to chase away the ref. And that was the end of the match. Of the show, at least. Where's Nails? He can take on Face, Men, Volkov. Nice. Nails goes over. So, Ray Stevens, kind of on his retirement tour. Where's his match history? There it is. So he lost to Stevens. Randy Savage retained the title over him. What about Maniac Mark? He lost to Brett. So a 2v2. I'm happy to have... Where are they? Now, Lewins and Stevens taking on Faces. Let's have them take on Savage and Brett. Nice 16-minute. Let's stick Savage over. Make it storytelling. At ringside, we can have Flair. Perfect. In the main event. During the show, we can also have Sid take on Face. Slaughter. Nice 5-minute. Sid going over. Perfect. Let's just make these matches a little shorter. Yeah, that one can be the main event. That can move here. Let's just add a little WWF SummerSlam advert. Three minutes, I guess. Got that Roddy's at his movie. Just a hype pre-taped video. This is the greatest, is it? What other music do we have? There we go. And always rely on RuneScape. Nice. 95, 95. To have this match, work the crowd. And this match, lift the crowd. Make this one a wild brawl. Nice. Everything else should mostly be fine. So we've got a WWF Superstars opening, which didn't do very well, to be fair. Tatanka defeated Adnan in 2:30 with an Indian death drop. Martel jokes it'll be another feather in his cap after he beats Tatanka. The Natural Disasters defeated Jim Duggan and Jimmy Snuka, and Earthquake pinned Snuka with an Earthquake splash. We get the WWF update with Gene Oakland, who talks about Papa Shango's curse over Warrior and everyone else he comes into contact with. The Mountie defeated Brian Adams in 2:42 with a Quebec Crab. And Warrior tells Shango the voices of the Warrior surround him and will make the curse weaker. Warrior then talks about sacrificing his flesh to walk as a skeleton. Scott Colton lost to Shawn Michaels in 1:51 by pinfall with the Sweet Chin Music. Shawn cuts a promo making fun of Brett's luck as he promises to take away the IC title. In an extremely short brawl, Kamala defeated Virgil in 2:40 with an Air Africa. We now get a vignette for Razor Ramon. We see Ramon telling us he comes from the gutter, has no education, but who needs it as we see him in a white suit and gold chains. Tito defeated Mustafa in 6:26 by pinfall with a figure 4 leg lock. Oakland interviews Savage inside an empty arena. Oakland says the arena will be filled soon when Savage defends his title. Savage says Flair does not understand reading between the lines, as Savage calls himself bad to the bone and is unapologetic about everything. Sid Justice defeated Sergeant Slaughter in 4:54 by pinfall with a powerbomb. So why did this dip if the wrestling rating and crowd rating was so good? We get a phone interview with Bossman, and we see a split screen of Nails holding up Bossman's nightstick and various photos of Bossman's injuries. Perfect acts like Bossman's career is over, but Bossman says he will be back. Nails defeated Volkov in 5:58 by submission with the good, the bad and the ugly. We get a SummerSlam advert, and in the main event, in a with a white hot crowd, to be fair. Savage, I thought the wrestling rating might be a bit higher, but Savage and Brett defeated Lewin and Stevens when Savage pinned Maniac Mark with a flying elbow drop. 72, not too bad at all. Could definitely always be worse. Could also be better, but could definitely be worse. Lost popularity everywhere. The Angel of Death. He is one half the Russian assassins alongside Jack Victory. Doesn't sound very Russian to me. Ooh. Excuse me, tired little boy. There we go. I was starting to worry that this was taking so long to load. The death of FMW? Are they just falling small size? Okay. They are continuously putting on shows though. Rick Rude thinks Tracy Smothers doesn't connect with the fans. Jerry Saggs' contract is ending. Ken Shamrock has a developmental request, and Sherry's contract is ending. When does Sherry Martel? So Sherry debuted in WCW in 1994, so we got her for another year. So I guess exclusive written. Let's get you on a year for now. Nice. And then Sags, I think we have you for about another year. Perfect. Nice. So then we have a wrestling challenge, which I think is just auto booked. Oh, and main event. Do we let's check. WCW main event 992. We might actually have a show here. $5.31? No. 6:14, there we are. We do. Perfect. So we have Cactus Jack winning a match. No one gets the night off. We are in 13th of June. Yep, looks like we're in the southwest. And ran some drills. El Gigante had a poker tournament. Jimmy Jett was in fine form. Ricky Morton sang some power ballads. Ole Anderson was not happy with Siobhan. Johnny Saint has an angle idea. Nice. There, we don't have to address the locker room. So Cactus Jack pinned Mitch Bell with the double arm DDT at 2:34. So Cactus taking on face Jimmy Garvin. Put Cactus over. And that's the only actual match on the show. The show features Tony Schiavone and Magnum TN commentary, including the NWA Tag Team Tournament segment, in which Eric Bischoff and Lance Russell preview Dusty Rhodes and Barry Windham against Arlington and Bobby Eaton, and Bagwell and Zenk against Rude and Austin matches. During the NWA Tag Team Tournament as part of Clash of Champions. Innovator taking Taunton, Eric Bischoff, and instead of Lance Russell, who are we doing? Storyline. Innovator World Tag Team. Did we do Lance Russell? Do we still have Lance Russell? No. Magnum TA, I guess. Eric Bischoff and Magnum TA. Preview the Dustin Rhodes and Bray Windham against Arn and Bobby Eaton. And who do we have as a face team? Unless we are doing... Oh yeah, it's Bagwell and Nikita. Rich Bagwell and Nikita... Oh, is it Ivan Koloff? Rude and Austin matches. Nice. So, I guess character development, same with Eric. Dustin. Barry. Bobby. Marcus. Ivan. Rick Rude and Steve Austin. So in this... Yeah, Magnum TA. Unless you have Kip Allen Frey. Yeah. And Kip Allen Frey. Rick Rude, Steve Austin. Yeah, 3 minutes should be fine. The matches. That's fine. So we got the WWE magazine in which Eric Bischoff reviewed footage of Jim Ross introducing Bill Watts the previous night on Saturday night, with Watts then bringing out Ole Anderson as the new senior referee. WWE magazine. Featuring Eric Bischoff reviewing footage of Jim Ross introducing Bill Watts at the previous night, Saturday night. So Eric Bischoff, instead of Bill Watts, who was it? God Soley. I know he's just a play-by-play announcer, but it's kind of... we're pretending he's in charge. Saturday night with Solly then bringing out Ole Anderson as the new senior referee. So Eric, Jim Ross, I probably should have done Crockett to be fair, Solly and Ole. Bischoff announced Steve Austin had regained the title from Barry Windham and more information will be available the following week. Then showed footage of Steamboat facing Rude in War Games as a build up to their Iron Man match at Beach Blast. Just have Eric Bischoff, Rick Rude and Ricky Steamboat. Perfect. We have Ross conducting an interview with Steamboat as part of the Ross Report regarding comments made by Rude and Medusa and facing Rude at Beach Blast. fine. There should be enough angles to get through the show. Just footage of Ross conducting an interview with Steamboat as part of the Ross report. So, Jim Ross is the interviewer. Ricky Steamboat cutting a promo on Rick Rude and Medusa. So, Steve Austin has won back. We also need WCW main event opening. Austin's won back the TV title from Barry Windham. So we can just put it on the show. WCW Saturday main event opening. Or we could wait till see if it's on the next Saturday night. We just have to remember to do it. Main event opening, yeah. Yeah, we'll put it on Saturday night. Nice. Boop. Boop. That's fine. We can just need to add in a couple of matches. Let's have a 3v3. We can put exclude already booked. Wellington, Benoit, and let's have Benoit, Silver King, and is there anyone else in it? No, not really. So Benoit, Silver King, and Art Bar taking on faces. Z-Man, Samurai Warrior, and Gigante. That's fine with me. We can stick Chris Benoit over. Put that here. 2v2. Let's have faces. Dean and Liger against heels Armstrong and Parker. Okay, maybe not Parker. Heel, male, Bob Cook. Perfect. Stick Dean over. We can have Larry Zbyszko take on who's up here? Robert Gibson. That here, and finally a nice quick one of Scott Norton beating Jim Neidhart. That's fine. What do we need to cut? 1 minute. Oh. Perfect. What's book analysis say? Jim Neidhart's unhappy. That's fine. Run this main event. So we've got the main event opening with an 88. Very solid. Silver King, Benoit, and Art Bar defeated Gigante, Samurai, and Z-Man when Benoit pinned Gigante with a diving headbutt. Got the NWA Tag Team Tournament. Eric Bischoff and Kip Allen Frey preview Dustin and Wyndham against Arn and Bobby, and Bagwell and Ivan against Rude and Austin. Jack defeated Jimmy Garvin in 9:51 by submission. Footage of Ross conducting an interview with Steamboat as part of the Ross Report regarding the comments made by Rude and Medusa and facing Rude at Beach Blast. Malenko and Liger defeated Armstrong and Cook when Dean submitted Steve Cook. We got the WCW segment featuring Bischoff reviewing footage of Jim Ross introducing Soli the previous night on WCW Saturday Night, and Soli bringing out Ole as the new senior referee. Scott Norton defeated Jim Neidhart in 354 with a brainbuster. Footage of Steamboat facing Rude in War Games to build up to their Iron Man match at Beach Blast. And Zabisco defeated Robert Gibson in 1008 with a Larry Land Dreamer. Solid enough main event, solid enough, made $7 grand. Can't complain too much about that one, to be honest. We have WF Wrestling Challenge, which I think is our auto book show. Have that in the Mid-Atlantic still? Yes. Locker room incidents, Blassie got an argument with Gurria. Linda passed on tips to Shane. Skinner ran some drills. Bret Hart and Spicoli have been spending a lot of time together. Marty has an angle idea. Victor was brought before Wrestlers Court. Nice. Relatively trouble-free, if I'm honest. Let's book this whole show. Two v2. Let's have, in fact, 3v3. We're going to have Danko, Barishnikov and face Bret Hart taking on heels Haku, Skinner and Ronnie D. Stick Danko over. Could also have a 2v2 of Nails and Sid Justice taking on faces Keith and Ross Hart. Just a quick one. Nails going over. We'll see the matches. Ramon against Volkov. Razor Ramon can get that victory. And Snooker against the Genius. Instead, let's have Snooker lose to Michaels. Perfect. So, WWF Wrestling Challenge opening. I always try and catch it out, remember which one's which, but never too good. Hype, pre-taped video, and it's improvised. Interview with the Mountie on Sergeant Slaughter, Andy Cattle Prod. Sergeant off screen. Vince is the interviewer. Interview with Lex on the pay-per-view. Vince again is the interviewer. Interview with the British Bulldog on taking on his brother-in-law. Vince and Brett Shaw. Interview with Sergeant Slaughter on taking down the Mountie. Mountie Australia. Nice. Everything looks good. I think we can run this. WF Wrestling Challenge opening, did fine. Bret, Danko and Barishnikov defeated D, Haku and Skinner, and Danko submitted Ronnie D. We got an interview with the Mountie and Sergeant Slaughter in the Cattle Prod. Nails and Sid defeated the Hart Foundation, when Nails submitted Ross with the Good, the Bad and the Ugly. We got an interview with Lex on the WBF pay-per-view. Razor Ramon made his in-ring debut, defeating Nikita in 8-16. Got an interview with Bulldog on taking on his brother-in-law. Sean defeated Snooker in 6:33 with a sweet chin music. And we ended with an interview with Slaughter on taking down the Mountie. Lost a grand, fair enough. Our financials aren't doing the hottest right now. We can maybe do another prime time and another Saturday night. Oh, Terry Runnels is pregnant. Who is she? Recent news. What would it be under personal details? She's engaged to Terry and Dustin's child. Tully, Marcus Bagwell is too clumsy. Orndorff says Art Barr is too clumsy. Jodie Hamilton likes Steve Armstrong. And Terry Runnels is pregnant and will go on maternity leave in 30 days. Nice. Conan Stevens is now hitting the small screen. Ooh. When is WCW Clash of Champions? XIX. 6:22. Oh, so it's not this time. Is this the date? Because if so, I might have to move it. Some says 6:15. June 16. Oh, it didn't air till then. Right. Well, if it didn't air till then, I might as well move it. It didn't air till June 22nd. What's different doing on a Monday than it is on a Sunday? No. Right, 5 days. Same days then. Ugh. What is the availability like? Silver Kings take on the Freebirds. By the looks of it, I should probably do it on. Will Saturday Night mention it? Saturday Night mention what's going on. So 6:20. So this is kind of before it. Everyone's busy that day. I could just move it to Tuesday 23rd. And Beach Blast is Saturday, June 20th. Is it? WCW Beach Blast. No, like 2. Yeah, June 20th, the same day as this Superstars. Oh, it's pre-show fill-up for the pay-per-view. Yes, that's fine. We probably won't do that show then because that'll be a lot of booking. Let's go on to do the effort. Sid Justice thinks Victor doesn't connect with the fans. We'll do primetime wrestling and then we'll probably end stream there. Now we've got everything else sorted. WWF Primetime Wrestling. No one gets the night off. We are now in the Mid-South. WCW territory. Incidents. Ken Raper, yes, we use you. Tony Gurria annoyed Mustafa. Razor Ramon was brought before a wrestler's court. Skinner ran some drills. Marty was fun. Ric Flair was an idea. Nice. Open forum once again. Everyone got a small boost. I'll probably just end up doing this every show. No one will like it, but maybe we'll be happier. Vince McMahon moderates the panel of Duggan, Jim, Heenan and Perfect. So, WWF Primetime Wrestling opening. 3 minutes should do. Maniac Mark still down here. Ray Stevens still up here? Yeah. Let's just make this hype pre-taped video. Revised. Mountie squash is shown. WWF Tag Team Champions Money Incorporated squash is shown. Undertaker squash is shown. Gene Okerlund's update segment recaps the Ultimate Warrior Papa Shango feud. I guess Gene is the interviewer of the Ultimate Warrior. And Papa cutting promos. Papa cutting promos. The Nasty Boys squash is shown. Promo time with Sean Mooney. The Mountie and Jimmy Hart fell aside from Slaughter that he would be knocking in Canada. So Sean Mooney is the interviewer. The Mountie cutting a promo on Sidget. 3 minutes. Mr. Perfect's call to the Big Boss Man from Superstars airs alongside the Nails debut. Let's stick Vince and Mr. Perfect on character development, with Nails cutting a promo and also Big Boss Man. 4 minutes should do. El Matador squash is shown, Brawler squash is shown, Virgil Cato bout from Wrestling Challenge is shown. The panel discusses WBF body stars. We could just do Vince interviewing Lex. 2 minutes interview. Tatanka beats Skinner in 11:53. This is shaping up to be an awful primetime wrestling. Let's have Tatanka take on heel male Wits. Tatanka goes over. Razor Ramon's first vignette is replayed. Natural Disasters squash is shown. Razor cutting a promo with Vince as the interviewer. Replay of Oakland's interview with Randy Savage from Superstars. So Gene interviewing Randy Savage, who's cutting a promo on Ric Flair. 5 minutes should do it. Texas Tornado defeats Repo in 4:44. Let's have Texas Tornado take on heel. Oh, Dynamite Kid's made it to well known. Is he working anywhere else? No, just here. Fair. He can take on Typhoon. Stick Kerry Von Erich over. The Beverly Brothers and Genius talk about how everyone wants to come up and face them and they keep knocking them down. So let's have Sean Mooney's the interviewer. Bo Blake. And Genius. Cutting a promo on Animal and Hawk. To be fair, Hawk might have been released at this point. Shawn Michaels squashes Sean. Duggan tells Heenan and Perfect they can count on Bossman out. They can count the big boss man out to their peril. Don't know what that means. Legion of Doom squashes Sean. Where was I? Tatanka likens his battle with Rick Martel to what his ancestors faced when the Europeans first arrived in America. Of course. Sean Mooney is the interviewer. Tatanka cutting a promo on Rick Martel. Kamala gets a win in 1 minute. Bret Hart squashes Sean, and that's it. That's the show. An awful show. So let's have Kamala take on face Bryan Adams. Kamala can go over. We can have a 2v2 of Dynamite and heel Busick taking on faces Costello and Duggan. I don't know how. That's a separate jingly ball than the one that I have. Stick Busick over. Perfect. We can have Razor take on face. You can take on Tito. 6 minutes out. Razor going over. Let's have Owen take on heel Axe. 6 minutes. Nice win for Owen. To a 1v1. Smash can lose to face Big Boss Man. Nice. Probably fit 2 more quick matches. So I've Rick Martel beat this Hugo Quirrell in his debut. See how that goes down. 3 minutes should be fine. Nice. Put that here. Now we got 5 minutes. That's a 2-minute match. We could have Warrior take on heel Hercules. The Ultimate Warrior going over. Nice. Pretty solid primetime wrestling, if I'm completely honest. We accidentally double matched it here. We can just stick that in the main event in this match. Here. Perfect. Big primetime wrestling. Let's go. The primetime wrestling opening, which hit a 70. Tatanka defeated the Wits in 331 with an Indian death drop. Gene Oakland's update segment recaps the Ultimate Warrior Papa Shango feud. Kamala defeated Bryan Adams in 252 with an Air Africa. The Mountie and Jimmy Hart tell Slaughter he would be nothing in Canada. Kid and Busick defeated Costello and Duggan when Busick submitted Duggan with a stump pillar. Perfect's called the Big Boss Man from Superstars airs, along with Nails' debut. Razor defeated Tito in 624 with a Razor's Edge. The panel discusses WBF Body Stars. Bulldog defeated Smash in 608 by submission. Razor Ramon's first vignette is replayed. Martel defeated Hugo Krull in 235 with a Boston Crab. We got a replay of Oakland's interview with Savage from Superstars. Good heat and decent wrestling. Kerry defeated Typhoon in 1006 with a Tornado Punch. The Beverleys and Genius talk about how everyone wants to come up and face them, and they keep knocking them down. Owen defeated Axe in 605 with the missile dropkick. The Tanker likens his battle with Rick Martel to what his ancestors faced when the Europeans arrived in America. And finally, in the main event of the show, Warrior defeated Hercules in 221 with a running splash. I think that was a fine show, all things considered, and it actually made money, which is quite nice. But with that, I would like to say, stay safe, please look after yourselves. Thank you all for everything. The channel's doing so much better than genuinely I ever thought it would do, so that means the whole wide world to me. Stay safe, and I'll be back another day. Thank you.